Turo University. My name is Conrad Layn. I have a new Turo host update for you. This is the new Turo host update that you might get a bit mad about. So if you deliver to an airport, doesn't matter what state, what city you're currently in, I deliver to airports all the time. And unfortunately, what's being rolled out here in Los Angeles County, LAX Airport, and in your county or municipality, you might want to check this as well. Call Turo immediately and see if there's any updates for airports. Turo is currently removing and canceling Turo hosts. Doesn't matter if you're a par host, doesn't matter if you're an all-star host, doesn't matter if you're a new host and a veteran host, doesn't matter how much experience you have or don't have. They're canceling your account and ending business for you. So you'll stop earning income. They'll close your account out if you break this rule. So this is the rule typically, and I'll share the screen to prove what I'm stating. Turo is saying this. They have 11, at least here at LAX in Los Angeles, they have 11 approved Turo locations that you can deliver for anyone who orders or requests a delivery to LAX Airport. So it doesn't matter if you're in California, if you're in Wyoming, doesn't matter if you're in Minnesota, doesn't matter if you're in Texas, Houston, doesn't matter. Check your email or call and see if there's an update for airports. This what's going on now is if you deliver to the airport and you get caught, Turo will end your account. I'm gonna show the actual review and show the actual article that goes over this, and it's crazy because a lot of people don't even know about this. I talk to Turos all the time. They don't even know this exists. And what makes it matter worse, if you market to people in your Turo listing, like your car listing or on your profile saying that you deliver to airports or that you have a better location that's nearby, or they can actually end your account right there and then. So you probably want to start going over your profile and rebranding yourself and re-articulating yourself in a different manner where you're not sharing that you could offer deliveries, because what happens is you're going against the agreement that Turo has set up with Turo approved locations. Per this article, it says that Turo now has an LAX Airport Permit. That's not necessarily true because we are not allowed to drop off cars at LAX Airport. You can actually be cited, given a ticket. Your car can even be impounded, and it's actually illegal. So very important. I left a video in the video description that goes over a big issue that's happening in Hawaii, California, Kauai as well, which is a part of Hawaii as well, and a lot all over the world where Turo is operating. A lot of airports aren't accepting this type of business. It takes time to get things processed. But what's going on is Turo hosts are paying the biggest price and having their account shut down. So what's going on is this. If you, for example, request a car from Conrad Layn, hey, I want to pick Conrad Layn's car, select LAX as a pickup and drop-off location, you won't know what's really going on. All you know is you're paying some type of airport fee, which Turo's now charging an airport fee. When you do that, you think everything is good. The Turo guest is unhappy because what happens is Turo doesn't let them know that, unfortunately, when a Turo guest picks LAX or airport out here, we hosts cannot deliver to LAX, so they don't know that. So we're basically the face that they blame, and we have to tell them, hey, I know you selected LAX airport, but you cannot pick up your car at LAX airport. You have to pick up at one of these 11 approved locations. I'm gonna share with you on my next screen, and you can take a free shuttle from the airport to this location, but you can't necessarily pick it up from LAX. As a matter of fact, you can't drop it off at LAX. And if you do, and if it's not in the messaging saying that I specifically do not allow you to drop off the car, you drop it off and I didn't put that there, I can be penalized as the host. So it's really unfair in my personal opinion, but that's just my opinion. I talked to quite a bit of executives and different account reps at Turo, and a lot of them actually agree with me. So what has to happen now, and I've already started a bit of a petition, if you're unhappy with this, call Turo and say you're unhappy with it. They'll file a case. If enough Turo hosts actually get behind me and get behind the idea of, hey, instead of penalizing the Turo host, how about this? Option one, get an actual LAX airport that allows us to pick up and drop off the car. First option. If you can't do that because maybe LAX doesn't allow it, or it's too hard, or it just takes too much time, then do this. Allow a Turo host to pick a nearby location. It could be anything. I have my own lot, but what if you're a Turo host who doesn't have your own lot, right? I have a whole lot of 30 cars currently that I rent out. I do Turo, I do Get Around, I've done Evel, I do currently Hire Car, which is acquired by Get Around. So I have 30 cars I rent out at all times. So I have my own parking lot. A lot of Turos only have 1, 2, maybe 5 cars, maybe 10 cars. They don't have their own lot. So what about them? So I think if you have your own lot and you're a Turos, you should be able to use that as a approved location if you're nearby the airport, or select a local, maybe McDonald's, a local CVS, Rite Aid, Ralph's. Allow a Turos to pick an actual location that's nearby the airport that we can offer for free. That way, Turo guests, when they fly into town, want to get their car from LAX, don't get surprised by saying, hey, not only I can't pick up the car from LAX, I have to take a shuttle. Yes, it's free. That's more time. About 10 to 20 minutes out to one of the 11 approved locations. And then guess what? I have to pay because either A, as a Turo host, Turo tells you you have to notify the Turo guests that there is going to be a charge at one of these 11 approved locations. Turo should take the price at these. Turo should actually pay for this. That way there's no discrepancy. The Turo guests are already unhappy that they have to go outside LAX. This wasn't made clear to them. And unfortunately, they have to pay for parking too. They didn't select this. They selected LAX and they paid a fee. So they're really irritated. And then they blame the Turo host. So that's not cool in my opinion. I love Turo. I think Turo is a great company. I'm not bashing Turo. I'm just completely being honest. I want Turo to become a better company. I want to invest in Turo. I make videos 2 years ago saying that I want to actually invest heavily into Turo, and I actually save some money out of every single trip just so I can invest in Turo's stock, because Turo went through the whole process of submitting to allow IPO, initial public offering, to become a publicly traded company. So I love Turo. I love Turo. They're amazing. They're currently in 56 countries and counting, and just recently went into Australia. So please know, whoever's watching this, I'm not bashing Turo. I'm just saying we think we could do this a little bit better, because it's not fair to the Turo host like myself, or you watching if you're a Turo. It's not fair to the Turo guests because they don't know what's going on. All they know is you're paying this new LAX surcharge fee. They think that's a permit fee. It's not, because you technically can't drop it off at the airport. Yes, you could put at the address. That's like a fee just to use the address to market to people, to get them excited to want to pick LAX, but they can't pick up the car, drop off the car there, or they'll be fined, and the Turos will be fined. So I think that should be a little more honest and not so vague. I actually had to call in 5 times, spoke with 4 different reps that completely agreed with me. One of them gave me a little bit of a hard time, but the thing is, at the end of the day, is the rep that did disagree with me didn't really have any guideline to really go against what I was saying. Because you know what I did and what I recommend you to do? Immediately call Turo and let them know your concern and request them to say, hey, can I please, the Turo guest is not happy. They don't want to pay for the Turo approved location fee because you guys want the Turos to pay for it. I'm not going to pay for it. That's a hit at my income. You guys are paying me extra for that. And you guys are charging them an extra fee that I'm not getting a part of, and it's not enough to cover the parking fee. Parking fee at airports, it doesn't matter if it's LAX or not, are so expensive. So not only you're asking the Turos to actually pay for this fee, you're asking them to actually put it onto the guests, which is going to be super unhappy, and that's going to reflect in your star rating. So you're going to start losing your Parho status, your All-Star status, because people are going to be unhappy with the way this is going. It's not a good decision in my personal opinion. But hey, if you really agree with this, maybe you won't understand what I'm saying until it happens to you. Maybe until it gets to your city. This is a big problem. Airports typically are not accepting this. And what's going on, if you're in an airport that truly gives you a true permit where they allow you to drop off the car, then that's great. But if you're in a situation where the Turo guest, what the airport actually doesn't give you actual permit, they make you go outside the airport, like what's going on at LAX, and go 10 to 15 minutes out, and then also pay for the approved parking that they did not choose. Not cool. It's going to cause a lot of bad rapport, and highly recommend you guys get this corrected. So please follow the screen through. I left a video below that's by the news, actually, that's going over the whole issue with Turo and people getting their cars impounded, because it's illegal to actually conduct business on airport grounds if you don't have an actual permit. In LAX, we don't have an actual permit to drop it off at the actual LAX airport. We have to go outside 10 to 15 minutes outside, wait for a shuttle, which is unfortunate. And guess what? If your trip gets canceled and you pay for the parking, no one's going to reimburse you. So it's a loss. So at this point, it's a loss that you actually have to get to pay for the actual parking permit. So if you take your car there, park the car, they'll actually get to the point where you still have to pay for it, even if the trip gets canceled. Don't like it, but I left the links below to the article. I'm gonna share my screen. Follow me through. Here's the actual new policy update. The Los Angeles International LAX host, so like myself, and even if you're in different cities, state, maybe it hasn't come to your city or state, you want to watch out for this. A lot of people have missed this email. You should have got an email with this policy update. If you missed it, it's still your responsibility to know. That's just how it is. So I would highly recommend calling Turo directly and checking your emails, and just look for airport updates. Put that in your search in your emails. But let me read this to you. See, it says about delivery for Los Angeles International Airport. Turo has an agreement with Los Angeles International Airport, LAX. Follow host guidelines and instructions below and share these instructions with guests. Guidelines and restrictions. See, you're strictly prohibited from dropping off, picking up the vehicle on LAX property. Each violation is $200 fine. I thought there was an LAX permit, right? Doesn't it say up here that Turo has an agreement with Los Angeles International Airport? So yes, there's an agreement. I wouldn't really say a permit. There's an agreement to to deliver a car to an approved airport location that's outside the airport, that's not actually part of the airport. It's usually about 10 to 15 minutes outside LAX Airport, which is really not an airport parking lot. It's a third party that actually has a shuttle that arrives to and from the airport, as it states right here. Park at the following off airport parking facilities. So remember, that means there's no permit with LAX. Yes, there's an agreement maybe with LAX, but this is park at the following off airport parking facilities. When guests are booking a trip at this point and paying that additional airport fee that you might have noticed, they're thinking they're going to pick up the car from LAX Airport or from whatever airport, city, or state you're currently in if you're watching this video. They're not thinking that they're going to arrive at the airport and then have to catch a shuttle outside the airport, 10 to 15 minutes outside, and then get their car from that location and then have to drop it off there and then catch the shuttle back. They're not thinking that. That means they have to probably have an extra hour or 2 hours of time just to wait for the shuttle. The shuttle sometimes doesn't come right away. They might have missed it. It's a disaster. But anyways, look, park at the following off airport parking facilities. These facilities offer shuttle service to and from LAX for paying customers only. Listed facilities are private businesses, like I mentioned, third parties, and have the right to refuse service. So that's another problem. They can actually refuse you. They don't have to allow you to do this. It's not guaranteed that just because you pick any of these approved Turo locations, they can actually, when you get there, they can say, you know what, we don't want you here. We don't want you conducting business, which has happened to Turo hosts. There's Turo hosts who have brought their cars there, and the parking lot says, yeah, we heard about Turo, but we don't want you to deliver here. We don't want commercial operations happening here. Not fair, but that's the truth though. So really unfortunate. Here's some of the locations. It says tip, ensure a smooth vehicle drop off by using the reservation system to secure a parking spot in advance. So that means that you have to do extra work to do that or risk not having a spot. That's why they're saying reserve ahead of time. It's really, I don't agree with this. No, agreement violations put you at risk of citations, yes, and or fines from airport or parking authorities, which is true. At LAX, there's actually a police department's right at LAX Airport, and they're the LAX Airport unit. Their police officers have a badge and can actually cite you and can actually impound your vehicle. Parking spaces, fees, and shuttle transportation. Hosts are prohibited from parking in a reserved or handicapped space and must tell guests they can't return the vehicle to a reserved or handicapped space and can't leave the vehicle with valet service at a parking facility. So what's it saying? When you go to a parking spot, not only handicapped, I understand, but you can't even park it at a reserved one. So if they accidentally park it at a reserved location, which, hey, they're in a rush, they're rushing to get to their flight, they're dropping off the car fast, they might park it at the wrong area, you're gonna get cited for that. It's crazy. Free shuttle service is only available to paying customers. So that means the car, you have to agree to pay the third party off airport lot before they even park it there. If they don't, that means they're not gonna allow the car there, they can't catch the shuttle, and that's just how it is. Turo won't cover the cost for parking. You must message your guests to let them know there's a parking fee to exit the lot or garage unless you've paid for parking in advance via a reservation system. So that means you have to actually pay for the parking or put it on your Turo guests, which will make them unhappy. So either you're going to make less money because Turo's not compensating you for this extra fee that they're charging, you're not getting a part of that to cover the fee. And make matter worse, you have to put it on them, and then they're going to be mad. There's no one who wants to pay this. Put your keys in a secure lockbox and give the code to your guests or engage remote unlocking technology. Don't leave the vehicle unlocked with keys inside. Failure to comply with the guidelines at listed lots and garages may result in removal from Turo. Bam, right there. What does it say? May result in removal from Turo. So remove the word removal, and that you will be, erase the word may and just put failure to comply with guidelines at listed lots and garages will, instead of may, result in removal from Turo. Turo's going pretty hard at this, and what they're saying is if you don't follow these rules, which might seem unfair to you, but hey, they are listed here, you could be removed and your business is ruined. So you might have bought a few cars, you might have a fleet of vehicles, and you just get your account shut down, and that's just what it is. Here's the guest communication. There's examples of how to communicate with your guests. Use Turo messaging to tell guests where you parked the vehicle and how to get there using an airport shuttle. If you've used a reservation system to secure a parking space, send the guests the necessary reservation information they'll need to exit, QR code, phone number, reservation ID, etc. Coordinate vehicle return with your guests. Tell them what facility to park in. If you've used a reservation system to secure a parking space for them, give them a space number. So you have to do more work. You're making less now, but you're doing more work because you have to pay for the parking, or you have to do more. The guest also has to do more and they have to pay more with the LAX or airport fee that they're paying to have the car delivered to LAX. And that's on top of if you charge a delivery fee as well. So they're paying more and they have to do more and take longer to get their own car. That's why guests honestly have been telling me they don't like this. Tour hosts I've talked to don't like this, and I'm just basically speaking about this and putting this out there that as a Turo host and Turo guest, let Turo know, hey, I don't want to pay this fee as a Turo host or Turo guest. You're both losing because the Turo guest is going further outside LAX and they're paying an extra fee to get the car in a later fashion, a later time, and getting it right away. And the Turo host is making less money if they have to pay the fee, because now they're not getting part of that LAX airport fee. And now what they have to do is they have to pick up the car and deliver it at a different location, be outside LAX, and wait for the guests even longer. So this is a real big issue, real big problem, something that I personally don't agree with. But again, I do love Turo. Nothing's perfect. I'm just sharing my opinion. And there's a lot of Turo hosts that agree with me that are speaking about it, and I think they should speak about it. And there's a lot of Turo guests who are definitely unhappy and furious about this. They don't want to pay extra for it. It's just how it is. And to make matters worse, this is really important for you. Really pay attention to this part. Advertising restrictions. Hosts who deliver to LAX must not advertise in their vehicle listing or tell guests they can select delivery locations near but not at the listed parking facilities listed above, or to use a rideshare app or taxi to pick up the vehicle at a nearby location. So what this is simply stating is that you cannot tell guests, even if you want to help them out and say, hey, I understand you're peed off, you're angry about paying for this extra fee that you weren't aware that you had to pay, and you had to pay for the parking fee, and I know you're angry about this, and even though I know a location is nearby that's free to you, I can't tell you that, or I can get in trouble if I list that in my profile. And matter of fact, I can't even tell you to catch Uber, Lyft, or a taxi or some type of rideshare to get there, or a bus, because I can get in trouble for that too. So you actually are forced to only give them these options, which appears that way. And I'm gonna give you a strategy out of this. I'm gonna show you the proof as well. And the next one says, hosts who don't deliver to LAX are prohibited from telling guests the vehicle is available at LAX or a nearby designated location on the vehicle page or in a message. Example, you cannot say, if you're flying to LAX, I can deliver the vehicle near the airport. That's only reason you can only say that if you're actually a host who actually has that option listed. If you don't have the option listed at LAX Airport, you cannot say that. So you can even get in trouble for that. And violating these advertising restrictions will result in permanent removal from Turo. Remember earlier I said remove the word may and switch it with the word will? Violating these advertising restrictions will, not may, will result in permanent removal from Turo. So that's the proof right there. I don't know how much more clear to say it. I left the article in the description below. That's the proof right there. Violating these advertising restrictions will result in permanent removal from Turo. That's it. Clear cut. You don't like it, that's the policy, people. So if you don't like it, see where it says contact us, that nice little chat icon, press that button and chat away and talk and find live chat support and talk to them. I highly recommend calling them, and then after you call them, say I want this to be taken to the executive level, where I want to complain that I don't agree with this policy. That's how policies are changed in politics and businesses. They need to hear Turo voices. They need to hear guest voices. So if you're a Turo guest and you're renting for the first time, second time, if you rent all the time and you notice that, hey, I'm flying to the LAX or different airports and I'm paying these extra airport fees and I have to take a vehicle from another location that's not even at the LAX airport, and you're unhappy about that, don't complain about it. Don't get mad at the Turo host. They're just following what they're told to do, because they can be removed. They're forced to do this. File a complaint with Turo directly. Have a voice. Same if you're a Turo host. Don't just be quiet and be shy about it. If you're unhappy about this and you're like, hey, this is taking me more time, I have to pay for this, or the guests have to pay for this, and now I'm only getting 3-star reviews now, or 2-star reviews, or it's hitting your reviews because the Turo guest is mad with you. They're blaming you. You're the face. Then don't tell Conrad Layn about it. I mean, you can leave it in the comments, but don't just complain about it. Keep it to yourself. Tell Turo. Get it changed. That's what the reps told me. They said, look, if you don't like this, let us know and call in and tell us. And I did that, and I had to even send me proof about what I can do. Now, this is the strategy, as I mentioned earlier in the video, before I transfer to this policy portion. If you're a Turo host and you're like me, I have 30 cars currently. I rent on Turo, hire car, and get around. I have different vehicles so that I'm not breaking the agreement for Turo, because there is a agreement where you can only have, if you have a car listed on Turo, you only can rent it on Turo while it's listed on Turo. So I have 30 cars. I rent some of my cars on Turo, rent some of them on Get Around, rent some on Hire Car. Hire Car's been acquired by Get Around, and I also rent it on Evel as well. So if you're a host like me, you have your own parking lot that you have full control of, what you can do is call Turo and say, hey, I have my own parking lot. Either you own it, either you rent it, you have control of it, whatever the case is. I have my own lot. I want to add this as one of the approved locations that you guys can allow me to actually have the guests come to my lot for absolutely for free. So now it's a benefit to them. So now going forward, they can actually go to my location. I'll give them those locations wherever they pick. Now they can pick my location if they know it's free. That's one option. If you're a tour host who doesn't have it, maybe you only have 1 car, 2 car, or maybe you just don't have a lot, that's fine. Say, hey, can I pick a local, whatever, KFC near me, Ralph's, CVS, Walgreens, Food for Less, whatever, Taco Bell, some restaurant, some random parking lot that's free. Can I pick this instead and give my Turo guests an option to pick this location too? That's a possibility. I did that, and what I spoke with 5 different reps. One of them gave me a problem, the other 4 agreed, and one of them, I'm gonna show proof, they actually gave me in writing. So if I ever get in a problem, I'm using this as proof, saying, hey, a Turo guest told me, a Turo rep directly from the company said that I can do this. They talked to executive support, and I said, hey, my name's Conrad Layn. The guests I'm meeting with are very unhappy about this new policy change. They don't want to pay the fee. It's not fair that it's going to hit my metrics because they'll give me a 1-star review because they're unhappy, which is understandable. It's not fair. Why do I have to actually pay for this or make them pay for it? They're unhappy. It's going to cause an issue where they're going to start canceling their trips. Now Turo's making less money. I'm making less money. They're not happy. My solution is, how about I allow them instead come to my lot and pick up the car for free? They weren't too keen to that. They didn't really love it, but they understood the methodology behind it, and they agreed to that. But I got it in writing. I didn't care. They said I could do it. I said, no, I need something in writing. They didn't give me what I exactly wanted, but they finally gave me something, and I'm gonna show that to you. And I highly recommend you don't use this as yours because each case is different. Call yourself and speak with Turo support. Have them send up to executive support and say, hey, give me something in writing that says I can actually do this, and because I don't want to get in trouble. So what happens if I don't have this? They can cite me and take me off the Turo platform and close my business. I don't want that to happen. Just like you don't want that to happen. So you need something in writing. So if as soon as they complain, say, hey, no, here's proof. So I took a screenshot of it. I saved it as proof, and I have it on my phone. I have it saved on my hard drive. So if I have any problems, even if my phone gets destroyed, if my computer's blown up, what doesn't matter where it's at, I always have proof. I go to and say, nope, you guys allowed this. You guys said that I can do this. And as a matter of fact, you can even add it on every single trip that this occurs, where someone say requests a LAX delivery. As soon as I get that, I put that right in the trip photos, and I give them the option. But I make sure not to put it on my profile though, because that's still against the policy. Turo does not want me to list it on my actual profile or car listing that, hey, I have an additional free location that you could choose, but they say within the messaging I can let them know, and then that's where I give them the choice. So what I have to do, I have to let them know that there are options, the 11 Turo approved locations in LAX, or you could choose my location, but it's up to you. Do not force them. And then at that point, as long as they choose mine, which 9 out of 10 times they choose mine because like it's free and mine's actually even closer, right? Then at that point, they'll go to my lot, and that voila, they can't complain because they agreed to it. It's all in the messaging, but I can't put it on my listing. So that you might not have been aware of this. Sorry if this sounds like it's off the cuff. It really is. I just got off the phone with Turo support, and I just wanted to get this out there. There's no script at all. So my apologies if it might seem like it's a bit everywhere. I think this is a lot of great content, and I'm just giving it to you raw and fresh. So take what you can from this. Follow the screen through. I'm actually go to the email I received from Turo. And here we go. See? That's from Turo support. Turo, hi Conrad. Thanks for reaching out to learn more about airport delivery. We work tirelessly with airports across the US and Canada to form efficient, safe, and airport-approved drop-off and pickup agreements. If you deliver to an airport that does not have an agreement or has an injunction in place, like LAX, you risk getting ticketed or towed by airport authorities. Absolutely true. We urge you to offer delivery to your guest's hotel or other popular points of interest instead. As discussed, you're not allowed to place within vehicle description, as I mentioned before, that your lot, so I have a lot, is near LAX. But you are allowed to inform your guests with the Turo app that they do have alternatives to parking near the airport. So that's simply what they're allowing. They're allowing you to pretty much basically add that only in the Turo messaging, but not on the actual Turo listing. Be very, very careful. If you put on the Turo listing, they could kick you off the Turo platform permanently. But get something in writing. Don't just take my word for it. I'm just your friend on YouTube. I'm not perfect. I'm just reading the Turo review that I received. I started Turo email I received, and this is who told me. Customer support. This is directly from them. So again, I don't know how much else clear I need to make it. Be very, very careful. This will definitely end any Turo par host, any Turo All-Star host. Doesn't matter if you're a veteran Turo host, if you have a lot of experience, if you have a little bit of experience, if you're new to the Turo platform or not. They're closing Turo hosts businesses all over the place if you break these rules. Very, very important. So I don't necessarily agree with this, but I do love Turo, but I just don't agree with this rule. And I highly recommend you do your due diligence. Contact Turo, get something in writing saying you can do this. Follow the rules. Do not, if you're gonna participate in Turo, follow the rules, but try to get something in writing directly from Turo. That way you don't get in trouble. And hopefully, if you truly disagree with all this, if you're a Turo renter, guest, host, doesn't matter, par host, all-star host, I don't care what level you're at, complain. Let Turo know you're not happy with this. And if you love this policy, you like it, hey, keep it how it is. But if you're affected by this and you're losing money, trips are getting canceled, it's hitting your metrics because now people aren't happy, or you have to pay more money for this trip, you have to charge higher, which is making you less competitive, make Turo know about this. Maybe Turo can start paying for the Turo parking and everything. That'll be hit at their profit. That's pretty expensive, right? For every trip, instead of putting it on you or the Turo renter. But maybe they can do that. Or maybe, hey, they actually go ahead and get a real permit where they can drop it off at LAX Airport or these airports. Or they just allow, I think the best idea is, as long as the Turo guest and Turo host agree within the Turo messaging that they could pick another location outside the LAX airport that's nearby, that should not be a problem. I think that's the best idea. That's just my opinion. Anyways, love you guys. Like, subscribe, share. Follow me on Instagram, Conrad Layn. This is off the cuff, no script, strategy video. Just trying to help everyday hosts like you and I. Love y'all. Welcome to my Turo family. Conrad Layn out.